My name is Sean Metz, the Team Five Guys Games and Fries. So the techniques, ideas that worked really well for us for during development have definitely been our freeform workflow and our cooperative build creation. So with our freeform workflow, we kind of had a lot of independent stuff that didn't require waiting for other people to finish stuff. And then our cooperative build creation is whenever anyone ran into a problem with a build, we just all got together and fixed it. Something that didn't work for us though is that workflow. Once again, not a lot of us knew how each system worked, so that and a lot of our folders were disorganized. So uh, just a lot of stuff all over the place, and our subfolders were kind of a little messy.
During this capstone project, we have also found many skills that will help us in the future, such as using while overlapping functions instead of just using triggers on objects, and the discovery of the player preferences for saving purposes, uh, as well as mastering how to use audio channels to control the volumes for our player. This may seem simple stuff for most people, but it was interesting to learn about as we went. We also uh, figured out advanced ways to troubleshoot bugs in our game, as well as earned a patience and understanding for each other as this particularly difficult time in the world where we all had to adjust our lives just maybe a little bit too much than normal. Uh, and you know what? Some of the things that we thought of to improve in the future is creating our uh, organization for projects based on the system, and we will continue on testing out each other's systems and mechanics more in depth.
We are doing a third person shooter game where the player uses telekinesis to fight and solve puzzles. Hospital level where you go in, you use the box, for example, or you break the boards. You go through, and you'll also see that you can kill the enemies with hitting them with the box. Originally, we had our game designed to look like the game Control. However, we may have strayed and had our own ideas, such as the boarded doorways you just seen. And on our other levels, we have things such as the fuse box, where you put a fuse into the power box and it powers the level. Players will navigate through different levels such as the sewer, the basement, the hospital, rooftops, and the airport, and the forest outpost. They will use different abilities such as the shooting, dash, the sprint. Also, you can use the ground slam, both do damage and help you get across different platforms. The last thing about our game is it is level to level based. So as you can see, you will go through and you'll go through these different levels. And for example, we'll go into the airport level. You will notice that there is one of these portals as such that you will walk through that will bring you to the next level.
So looking back at our initial vision from Capstone, we just knew that we wanted to make a third-person shooter, but from the very beginning, we just had very basic mechanics, moving, jumping, and shooting a little bullet. But that was pretty much all we had fleshed out at this point. The enemies weren't really working. We didn't really have any other mechanics. We didn't really have pretty much any of the things that the game has now. So looking at where the game is now, it's evolved from super basic mechanics to an almost fully realized game with overlapping systems and defined level progression. And so we can see that we have a character model with animations for all of the different actions that they can do. A couple of cool features that I'd like to showcase specifically We really enjoyed these climbing ledges. The player can drop down if they don't want to hang on, or they can climb up, whatever they choose, and it does work from any of the sides or angles. Another feature that I wanted to showcase was the radio hints. I have voiceover hints that help tell the player what to do. They're mixed to sound like little radio comms messages.
I think you're gonna have to jump first, and then dash in the air to clear that.
And those are the two things that I wanted to show off.